What the hell was up, you fucking guns? This is episode 6 of Resident Bummer, which, as you all should know by now, is the 7th episode of Resident Bummer. This is the first episode of the month of March. February is out, and I guess now is the perfect time to apologize for the really silly shit that I pulled at the beginning of last week's episode. I guess all of that hood shit, as I'd like to refer to it. But I didn't stop for this week. I did continue it in a very kind of humorous way to me. I'm gonna whisper this part. I think you can hear me right now. I'm gonna whisper this part really quiet so nobody else hears it in my house. But I'm pretty high right now, and I figured it would be a good idea to do my first episode extremely high. I think my dog just barked, so that's unfortunate that picked up on the audio. This week is, the intro and outro. I did quite a scarce outline, so I'm just kind of trying to ad-lib most of this intro right now. Forgive me if it's terrible, as always. I'll just repeat that again. As always. Fulcrum is returning as the solo host of Resident Bummer. Yeah, you can probably tell I'm kind of high right now. This week has some kind of wacko content, so I'm gonna apologize right now if it's scatterbrained or I sound like a bit of a nut job on some parts. Well, I guess this shit isn't gonna record itself. We better hop right into the journal content. So, on Friday, February 28th, my first entry is at 12:45 a.m., and I finished watching The Rundown with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and I can't remember the other dude's name, but there's another male actor that's kind of a leading role, and I think it's pretty funny. I'd give it a 7.8 out of 10. Nothing to go crazy over, but definitely worth a rewatch in like maybe a year or two. I don't know. Maybe, if someone asked me, I guess. But now, it's pretty early in the episode, but I'm going to start the second Foodery Fare event of Resident Bummer. That's right. This one will be known as the Kit Cast. If you want, you can call it the Kit Cast Clan. KKK, nice. That's pretty funny, right? Yeah, we've got an assortment of Kit Kat flavors here for this Foodery Fare event. First up is going to be the cotton candy. I'm going to try and spread these 3 flavors out a little bit over the episode just to make it all that much funnier. I'm going to try the cotton candy Kit Kat. I don't know if you knew that even existed, but that's the first flavor up. I'm going to be opening it and crinkling it as I talk through this first entry, or the second entry, I guess. At 1 a.m., I guess, in last week's episode, I cried towards the end, and at 1 a.m. here, I cry again, and then I decide to stream some Bioshock before it'll get... Excuse me. I'm trying to open this candy at the same time as talking. It's not that easy, you guys. I stream some... Oh, God, and I fucking hit the microphone, too, as I'm trying to open it. Good Lord, sorry. Stream some Bioshock 2 before I go to bed. While streaming, I start to cry again, and as I'm crying, I decide to pray for my parents, my sister, her husband, and her son, my grandparents, my aunts. I finally got it open, by the way. My aunts and uncles, my cousins, my dogs, Jack, Desmond, Keamy, Michael, Richard, Jacob, Benjamin, Bernard, Dogan, Hugo. Oh man, that's tasty. Hugo or Hurley, Daniel, son, my teachers from every grade, my old elementary, middle school, high school friends, my old coworkers, old gaming friends, myself, anyone else lost to the annals of my memory. Next entry here is at 2:10 a.m. and I need to get it off my chest that I'm kind of been comparing my life situation to Jack's. Unfortunately, there's some real stuff, so I'm just gonna pop another Kit Kat in my mouth. I'm not really jealous, but I'm actually quite the opposite. I'm using him as an example to maybe try and not be such of a loser, the entire reason I made this podcast. I have definitely not been doing myself any favors over the past year or two, or really 3 or 4, honestly. But next up, I have an entry. I wake up, I change for work, I clock in, and I hate my job for my shift until Jack calls me 20 minutes before I clock out. God, that is really fucking tasty. He hangs up a few minutes before I leave work, and I drive home. I skip them all in preparation for a follow-up phone call from Jack. And then God damn, my dog keeps fucking barking. My dog needs to shut the hell up, dude. I edit Resident Bummer episode 5 when I get home. Then I begin to export while I edit my Jack spiel. And I schedule the upload to YouTube. I started Lanta, and I am absolutely floored by the cliffhanger on season 4, which is the final season. I need more episodes. Donald Glover, you need to make some more of that shit immediately. And I'm planning for Invincible season 3 to be my next show that I watch. Wait. What is plan? Oh, God. Okay, so this is... I'm going to open up another Kit Kat here. We're going with the vanilla-flavored Kit Kat. That's probably not quite as eclectic as the cotton candy flavor, so you might have had this one before. But I decided to type up like a whole thingy. I'm gonna say... I'm gonna straight up lie right now. I'm gonna be like, it was like 10 or 15 paragraphs. That was it. That's all I did. But I wrote up a little thing, and I was like, hey Jack, I think I'm whining right now, and you need to tell me if I am or not. But there we go. Well, I say she too. You need to tell me if I'm being a big old... God damn it. Of course, the garage door is opening. The dog is barking. I'm going through the share shit. I guess I'm eating a Kit Kat, so I'm not really taking it too seriously, but whatever. Yeah. I send off all that garbage to Jack. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I'm like, I suck, I'm a loser, and I'm a piece of shit. And, is the gist. Oh yeah, there's also a Snapchat waiting for me in one of those old group chats that I was talking about. Just gotta get this other Kit Kat out of here. And, interestingly enough, one of these group chats has, well, I mentioned that there was one girl that I asked out in high school, and there was one girl that I asked out on my birthday this year. And that one girl I asked out in high school happened to be in one of these Snapchat groups that I sent a snap to, and I was like, anybody still around and want to hang out? She said, thankfully, honestly, I was hoping that this would happen. I didn't want things to get weird or awkward. She was like, oh, I'm in, I'm going to have to edit that out at 9 minutes and 50 seconds. I will remember that. 9:50. Very good. She was like, I'm so many hours away from you, otherwise I would hang out. And there was another dude in this chat, and he was like, I'm going to have to cook up some names for these guys, I guess, maybe if they come up in a later episode, but for now, I don't really care. The other guy was like, I'm actually pretty close by still, but I'm busy with school, still in school still. Ha, darn. And I was like, hey, if there's like a random weekend where you're not busy and you just want to like go out drinking, I'm like not that far away from campus, and I'd be down to like hit the bars or something. And I'm just opening up a regular Kit Kat right now, sorry. Through this tangent, I actually went through 2 different flavors of Kit Kats. That's crazy. This is the regulation flavored Kit Kat. Standard chocolate, of course. Pretty classic stuff. And honestly, I feel like having the other flavors first has only enhanced this original Kit Kat. I might have to try. I've got 2 more of each flavor lined up after this, so I'm going to be eating a shit ton of Kit Kats on this episode. Sorry, guys. After I do all that garbage on Snapchat, I go to bed, and that is the first day of entries. Moving up next, we have set 6, day 2, Saturday, March 1st, at 8:40 a.m. I wake up, take a poop and shower, eat some cinnamon rolls with my mom and my grandma, and then I drive my grandma out to her eye appointment. After I get home from that, I do some work on my core, and then I shower again. Then I fraternize with the family until I work up the courage to sneak up into my room and peek at Jack's response. Then he asks if I want to watch Spy Kids, and absolutely, I want to watch Spy Kids. Unfortunately, this next entry kind of explains it a little bit more in depth, but there is some, we have an aunt, an uncle over, and like 4 or 5 cousins. So at 11:50 p.m. I entered this, but we didn't watch the movie at 11:50 p.m. As I'm watching Spy Kids, I just constantly get interrupted by, I think, one of my cousins, and then, I guess the other one's cousin first removed or something. But they constantly open my door and just like are shoving it open, even though I shoved a blanket underneath it, which is right there right now to hopefully muffle the sound of my voice so it does not escape my room right now. And when I was watching the movie, after the movie is finished, Spy Kids is pretty funny still, I'm not gonna lie, pretty good movie. What would I give it? Like an 8.1, honestly. After that, or maybe the experience with Jack made it all the better. How gay. I hang out in the living room with family until all my family takes off. And then I respond to a Snapchat from a lifelong friend. Lifelong is putting it lightly. I've literally known this guy since birth. My parents were old college buddies, and we hung out as babies. So we were literally hanging out before we were making memories of us hanging out. That's pretty crazy. And we also went to the same elementary school, middle school, and high school. So we were honestly pretty tight all throughout. And we're gonna call him Pierre. Pierre. Sorry, Pierre, if you ever hear this, but your name was not chosen by me. It was preordained by fate. I let him know that I am too drunk to drive out there and hang out with him tonight. It'll be like, I think, maybe 5 or 6 years since I've done like a social event with him. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty excited. And he was doing a social event with like 3 or 4 other dudes from our high school group. Oh my god, I want to hang out with them so bad. That would be so much fun. Yeah, but I let him know, hit me up in the future, maybe a little bit in advance, I could have maybe not gotten so drunk at my family event and then decided to drink out with them. That would have been fucking cool. But after this, I do about like 9 minutes of squats, unfortunately, while watching The Invisible Man, which is a movie from, I believe, 2020. I don't know the names of any of the actors, not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, some of the beginning scenes were a little spooky to me. I was getting a little spooked. Fulcrum was getting scared. Oh my god, it was so spooky. But on like a real note, spooky level, it was like, in the beginning, like, some of the beginning scenes kind of got to a spooky level of like 8.5. I was getting a little scared. Whoa. But the movie overall, maybe like a 7.2, 7.1, somewhere around there. After I finish the movie, I fall asleep. Well, I kind of fall asleep halfway through the movie, so, moving on to the next day, set 6, day 3, which is Sunday, March 2nd, at 2:20 p.m. I wake up, I shower, and I change for work, and bring some mall clothes with me. After this, Hugo or Hurley has called in sick, which is a rare occurrence. He is kind of annoying to work with, but he pretty much makes all of his shifts on time. Benjamin has to stay an extra 3 hours while I clock in after Benjamin, and then I clock out before Benjamin. It was nuts. I loved it. And Benjamin's getting so angry at Hugo the entire time. He's like, fuck Hugo, fuck Hurley. I can't believe he did it on today of all days. And at 4 p.m. I drive out to the mall and I go through 311's Voyager album while I almost fall asleep. This kind of reminds me of when I was in church as a kid. I used to get, oh god, sorry. That was actually cool. I hit the pop filter as I was scratching my nuts. That was neat. I didn't even like do an outside scratch. I went straight down through the underwear, like beneath the underwear, skin to skin contact. You're welcome for letting you know. Yeah, I almost fell asleep in the mall, like I almost did back when I was a kid in church, just because the lights were, I guess, kind of low, and I don't know, I guess the music was putting me to sleep. 311's music is not necessarily something you would fall asleep to, but anyways, moving on. 6:35 p.m., I realize I'm going to pass out, so I leave the mall and finish watching The Invisible Man when I get back home. Look at that. My rating right here, 7 out of 10. I knew it, on the money. 7:25 p.m., I play some Bioshock 2 after I finish the movie, and I air fry some nuggets, of course. Who else but nuggets? And then at 2:35 a.m., I watch Ghost in the Shell, and I get a message from Jack. And, sorry if you ever hear this, Jack, but man, it took me a while to work up the courage to open that message. I just overthink some of these things way too long. I have a little question mark here next to this entry, but, I'm going to have to whisper this. I also put this in the entry. Oh god, you guys, on Sunday, March 2nd, well, technically, it was maybe like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., I break my streak and jerk off. I came really hard after 28 or 29 days of not jerking off. That was an explosive cum shot. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, if you ever hear this. This is a little bit TMI, but hey, I gotta be as unfiltered as I can in some areas. I think it's just kind of fucking funny. I think this next part's actually pretty a lot funnier. Yeah. I have to wait with my door closed. I was sitting kind of like behind my door with it fully closed because one of my grandparents was in the bathroom using the bathroom, and I needed to take a shower because okay, yeah, this is gonna get crass, Oh, excuse me. I decided to, when I... Good Lord. When I finished jerking off, I decided I wanted to just, like... God damn it. Well, I just came all over myself, like, on my stomach. And because, I don't know, I didn't want to bother. My method for jerking off, god damn, this is gonna get really personal. My method for jerking off requires me to come all over my stomach for maximum pleasure, okay? It's like the method, I can't be aiming in any other direction, but I'm gonna have to move on because I've gone way too long into this point and I'm not comfortable with it. I chose the shortest month of the year to take a month-long break. Technically, it was a month-long break. It was February 2nd was the last time I jerked off, and then the morning of March 3rd is the next time I jerked off. So technically, it was a month-long break, but it was the shortest month of the year. I decided to stop vapping. Alright, I think the whispering is over. I drift in and out of sleep until the next morning arrives, which is the morning of Sunday, March 3rd, set 6, day 4, at 2:25 p.m. I'm sorry. I gotta catch my breath after that disgusting revelation. Yeah, I'm just gonna super heavy breathe into the mic, because wow, I was getting a little out of breath trying to whisper all of that. I wake up at, not at 2:25, but I wake up in the morning and I get on my phone to escape the reality I've created with Jack, sending these kind of like long spiels and responses back and forth. But at 6:35 p.m., I type up a response to Jack, and I send it off before getting changed at work. And I'm going to go ahead and open up another cotton candy Kit Kat. Work is pretty boring, so right now I'm actually going to bring up another would you rather question. I think actually, sorry, I had to lick my fingers there. I think technically this is a would you or won't you question, but anyways, on to the point. Would you, oh no, this is a would you rather. Oh my gosh, this is the first would you rather, you guys. First true would you rather. Would you rather get a tattoo of a minion from Despicable Me over each of your eyeballs, both eyeballs, or would you rather get waterboarded with piss at the beginning of every third month for the rest of your life? You gotta choose one or the other. Let me know. At 6:55 p.m., I get home and I talk with my mom about my interview that I have coming up on Friday. And then I watch 2 episodes of Invincible and work on my arms while I do so. God, I love arms. I can watch a show while working on my arms. That's the best shit ever, I tell you what. It looks like at 1:15 a.m. I decided to watch one more episode of Invincible. No more arms, though, sorry. Before drifting in and out of sleep. Which brings me to Tuesday, March 4th, set 6, day 5. At 4:35 p.m., I type this little entry into my journal. Damn, I am fucking up the journal entries. I gotta stay on top of them. And I've been holding this Kit Kat for a while. I need to bite into it. Sorry for hitting the mic. I decided to get out of bed after I jerk off again. Damn, didn't take long to get back on that horse. Yeah, I just jerked off again. What is this? Like, not even 24 hours later. I guess. Next up, I shower, because wouldn't you know it, I Krispy Kremed myself again, absolutely glazed myself. And for some reason, I decided to put in my journal here that was using only 2 of my fingers. And I don't know if it's technically a finger or not, but it's funnier to say that I do not consider the thumb a finger. Fancy that. I don't even jerk off using my thumb. I'll let you decide on what that could possibly even fucking mean. Next up, I dress for work, clock in, and my shift is boring as fuck. So I'm going... Besides, I have a call with Jack. I think maybe another 20 minutes before I clock out. Or maybe this one was an hour and 20 minutes? I can't remember exactly. Sorry, Jack. I need to input more details about these calls. Well, maybe ancillary details that aren't so specific. But I'm going to flip another Would You Rather on you guys real quick. You receive an extra $450 a week. Oh no, this is a would you or won't you. God damn it. So, would you like to receive an extra $450 a week? But the trade-off is that you know for a fact that one random night a year there will be a mouse that lives in your house that will come up to you in your sleep and it will piss and shit into your mouth. And it will leave that piss and shit in your mouth for 5 hours. And then get this. This is the real kicker. After 5 hours of you being asleep, it'll come back up and clean his mess up. It'll clean his mess up for you, but the stink will remain. Would you do that? $450 a week? I'm not going to do the math for you, but you can imagine how much that is in a year. Next entry is at 8:25 p.m. I get home and stretch before I do some core. A common theme I'm gathering with my core workouts is that they suck. I don't like doing them. They don't vibe with the music situation. I feel like I can't change my song until I'm done with my set. And by then, I've started a new song, and I have to give the new song more time to be able to be I don't know if I like this song or not. But while I'm working out, I do start a VHS collection, which is a musical artist, and I used to listen to them in high school. I think only 2 or 3 songs in total, and I never went through the rest of their discography, so I figured why not? A perfect time to do so. And I've gleamed, I think maybe somewhere between 5 and 10 songs so far, and they don't have, I think they have 3 albums in total, which is honestly perfect for me, a perfect amount of songs for me to grab from them. I love it, and it's giving me some nostalgic hits. I love it. Next up, I shower, and then I sit on my dumb ass for an hour while listening to some Fuckface, which is an incredible podcast. And I've been trying to get some of their merchandise. They only have 1 piece of merchandise, I think, at this point, as far as I'm aware. They've obviously updated into the Regulation podcast, which is how you can find them now, if you would like to listen to them. They have a shirt that just says Regulation Shirt, and they've been out of stock of the large size for it'll go out of stock for 2 or 3 weeks on end, and then once it restocks, it'll just sell out immediately. So I've been debating going on some custom t-shirt websites and just using the exact same font, putting it in these roughly the same spots, and then wearing that shit like a poser. I've got some fake Regulation merch. This dude's a fucking fake. After that at 9:45 p.m. I stream some Bioshock 2 until I make more chicken nuggets and squat for an abysmal amount of time. I think I might have squatted for 7 minutes this time. Pretty terrible stuff. Next up, I realized that I missed the celebration of Shrove Tuesday. This has a question mark on this little entry here, so I don't know what time it was, and I'm pretty pissed about missing the inaugural, no, not inaugural, that's the first one, but the annual Shrove Tuesday, which is, I think, where you make crepes and talk about Jesus. What the heck, dude? I'm pretty pissed. Next up, I watch the Invincible. No, I watch Invincible after squats, and then some compilations of the best of Fuckface / Regulation podcast. That is the last entry. So moving on to Wednesday, March 5th. Looks like at 9:55 a.m. Excuse me. I wake up to a voicemail from my temp agency informing me about stuff for that interview, and they want to do a follow-up call, and they left me a voicemail, and they were like, call me back when you get a chance, and not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to kill myself. Nothing about the job seems particularly interesting to me, but I feel like I do have to try in order to give my parents some sense of, I don't want to be at this terrible, shitty job with terrible, shitty coworkers forever. So if I give the appearance that, and not just the appearance, at the interviews I'm actually trying, but it is hard to muster the motivation at this stage. I just really hope if something lands, I enjoy it, because I don't want to go searching again for quite a while. At 2:10 p.m., I get off the phone with the temp agency. Well, not at 2:10 p.m., but this is when I entered the journal entry, of course. You know this at this point. Then I restart Mad Men, and I attend Ash Wednesday Mass. And then afterwards, I shop for a new pair of work boots, because my current pair of work shoes was falling apart. I think the heel was separating from like the rubber bottoms that they contained. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, I've never owned like a decent, classy pair of boots that you can wear to work, but also out on the town. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel sexy as fuck when I'm wearing these new black boots. I feel like some kind of dominatrix, even though I think you have to be a woman to be a dominatrix, but whatever. Moving up at 2:25 p.m., my dad asks if I want to finish doing taxes, which we started doing like a month ago. Man, I guess we can do some taxes. So that takes a couple of hours out of my day, but whatever. And next up at 8:25 p.m., I head back upstairs, stretch while listening to some Regulation podcast, and then I work my arms out while watching 2 more episodes of Mad Men. I don't know. I guess this is... Oh, yeah, get off the phone with the temp agency and restart Mad Men. I guess I did that before church, Ash Wednesday church, so... Yeah, I get back home, and while I'm doing my arms, I watch 2 more episodes of Mad Men. That's pretty cool. I'm liking Mad Men, you guys. At 10:50 p.m., I watch 1 episode of Boardwalk Empire with my dad. Then I head back upstairs to read another chapter of my book. I think this was actually, I didn't put this in the journal, but I'm going to add it in here. I don't know how I didn't add this to the journal. I reach out to Jack with another weird cue, and I ask him if he ever dreamed or dreams yet, and if he had any favorite or memorable ones he would like to share with me. Yeah, this is real homo stuff, you guys. I'm slightly afraid that he thinks I'm trying to suck him off or, like swallow his bum, but not the case. I'm just genuinely curious at this point. I don't know why I never have been in the past, but hey, I'm ready to ask. Yeah, after I ask him that question, I could go into some of the dreams, but I could also save some dreams for later podcasts. I might do that. After that, I think it was before I read that chapter of my book, but after I finished my chapter of my book, I get an advertisement talking about succulent and cacti gardening on the totally legal website that I use to watch Knives Out. Knives Out is a pretty funny movie. I liked it. I might have been trying a little too hard in some areas, maybe a little overhyped from Desmond. I know Desmond has hyped it up to me in the past, so I would give it like a 7.6. Then afterwards I text Hugo or Hurley some bullshit about us seeing a movie on Friday night. Yeah, I get to go and see another movie with Hugo or Hurley, of course. That is it for Wednesday, March 5th. So moving on to the current day of today. That is Thursday, March 6th, as I'm recording this podcast. I woke up this morning at 11:55 a.m. I entered that I woke up and slept in a little too late. Yeah, this is like the second, I think, or third time I've been late to work over the past 3 years, which is rough stuff, man. Anna calls me up on my phone and lets me know that I am scheduled to work today. And I was like, oh God, no, let me come in and clock in. I clocked in, I think, 24 minutes late, which is unfortunate. At 3:30 p.m., somebody in the Discord group chat that I am in, that we are going to be calling Miles, starts talking about Europe wants to avoid war, so Russia will not declare war. He's like, I don't think Russia will declare war because, well, I think Europe wants to avoid war. And I was like, how are those two things? I mean, obviously Europe might take some precautions and anti-inflammatory measures, but how is that going to stop Russia if they want to declare war? It's not really going to do much to deter them. Russia's pretty bullheaded like that, or at least from what I've learned over the years of being alive and being a human being on this earth. But this all stems from Jack. He posts a little question in the chat. He's like, you guys think that Russia's going to declare war on Europe soon? And Miles responds with some brain dead shit. In private, Jack hits me up and he's like, you can tell Miles has no idea what he's talking about. And I'm like, yep, you are absolutely correct. Next up at 5:50 p.m., I clock off of work, get home. I then stretch and do some core workouts, which I absolutely still hate. I don't do it while I'm working out, but as soon as I stop doing core, which I cut off, like, I'm not gonna lie, I cut my core workouts off like 20 minutes. I set a timer for an hour, just try and get an hour in, and obviously I'm a little new to working out consistently, but sometimes it'll be like 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes into my workout, and I'm just like, yeah, I fucking hate core. I can't do this shit. Fuck off. And, yeah, I don't know. I just stopped doing it. I think I stopped maybe after 40 minutes for this workout, which, oh well, I'm trying. Afterwards, I watched 2 episodes of Mad Men, and I prepared to record episode 6 of Resident Bummer, which is what I'm doing right now. Holy shit, that's meta as a fuck, dude. Next up at 6:40 p.m., my new nickname that I have invented for Hugo or Hurley is Mr. Manager, because he likes to micromanage me all the fucking time, little shit. And then I watch, actually, I might do a live text to Hugo or Hurley. We're running a little short for typical. Yeah, I'm going to send a live text to Hugo or Hurley right now. I'm going to let him know if he can you check near the pizza trays underneath the kitchen counter? I might have left my order of mozzarella sticks sitting down there and forgot to throw them away. And I'm gonna have to let him know that's my bad, because I actually texted him earlier tonight and I was like, I forgot something else. Can you throw that away too? My B as a final text message. Can you check near the pizza trays underneath the kitchen counter? I might have left my order of mozzarella sticks laying down there and forgot to throw them away. LMFAO. My B. Yeah, that is my B, Connor. Sorry, man. Sorry about that. But he is the new Mr. Manager. That is his nickname, because he likes to boss me around now, and he's like, why didn't you do this, and why didn't you do that? Even though, like, 4 months ago, if you asked him, he would be like, I don't give a fuck about this job. I want them to fire me. I fucking hate the manager, and I fucking hate everything about this fucking job. Fuck you. He jokingly says just, fuck you all the time, just because, I don't know, he's a prick. Yeah. And then I watch a little bit of Morning Somewhere before I end up deciding to step up to bat and record this fucking episode, which brings us to right now. Oh, man. Fuck. Looks like we gotta close up shop on Resident Bummer yet again. Another week down, but, yeah, Fulcrum has gotta go bye-bye at this point. On a real note, though, every week it is sorry for the mouse click, that was completely unnecessary. On a real note, though, it is definitely like, I don't know, it's a weird bittersweet feeling. At the end of each week, I'm like, man, I wish I had more cool stuff to talk about, but on the other hand, I'm like, it is kind of fun to joke around and talk about some of this stupid bullshit that I go through every week. But I guess in review, we had a bit of a deep talk with Jack this week. That was cool, but every time I think about it, I think to myself, man, I was overreacting. I should have just thought about that, not sent it, you know? Oh, I hear my mom, so I'm gonna start whispering. I hear my mom coming, so I'm gonna start whispering so she doesn't hear me through the hallway. I think I was overreacting by sending that whole entire fucking spiel to Jack. But next up, I cried too much early in this week, but I haven't cried much since. I think maybe just once since, like, I started being retarded earlier this week. Sorry about the R word, but I like it again. I also finished Invincible Season 3 this week and started up Mad Men again. I think I watched the first episode of Mad Men like a year and a half ago, and then I didn't watch any more episodes. But so far, I believe I've gotten through Season 1, Episode 6. It's pretty good so far. Sorry for the whispering and the maybe breathing, inconsistent breathing, but hey man, I told you in the episode 0 this is going to be a really shitty podcast, and I'm going to have to improvise on things like this, just because I overthink things. I also went to Ash Wednesday Mass after not going to Mass for like a year and a half maybe, similar to the Mad Men situation, I guess, which is kind of weird. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Thanks to absolutely nobody for listening into this episode and listening to my breathing right now. And I truly, honestly do mean that. If there was a single person that I knew in real life that knew about this podcast or knew who the host of it was, I might have to slit both of my fucking wrists and then blow my fucking brains out at the exact same time. That's also a joke. Talk to a therapist if you need help or have suicidal thoughts or depression, or that you feel like you want to die. Just talk to somebody about it and be like, hey, I'm feeling this way. Can you talk to me about the way that I'm feeling? And hopefully if they're not a shitty person, they'll be like, hey, yeah, I'd love to talk say favorite or favorite, you'll never know. Am I really making a podcast? Or am I just jerking off?